Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the All Sports Matter podcast. Tonight we're gonna be talking about some impending retirements. We'll talk a little football, talk a little basketball, maybe some baseball, but then we go jump right into the AFC South. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the show started.
Shine through.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. This is the All Sports Matter podcast. I am your host, JB, and with me this evening we have four wonderful guys. We like to bring in, y'all know we talk about the AFC South tonight, so we gonna have some guests on tonight representing the four teams from the AFC South. But before we get to that, let me bring my brothers on to talk about some regular sports. So, fellas, y'all want to join me? We got Fleck, we got Amir, we got Big Rob. We about to talk some sports.
What it do?
I got breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we can read.
Already? Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Fernando Tatis Jr. just pissed hot for PEDs.
there you go. Where Aaron Judge at? I need to see
Yeah,
that.
what does that do? What does that do with his rehab assignment? What's happening? Now?
He'll still be eligible to play in the minor leagues. Yeah, his season's probably done
So why is he eligible to still play in the minors though?
because he's injured. It's a rehab assignment, not a minor league demotion.
Right,
So-
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm legit. Like I legit don't.
So
understand
basically,
why he's allowed
it's one of
to
those
play
things that
if he pissed
once
off.
he's cleared of his injury, he'll make the major league roster. He'll be suspended on the spot.
So he's allowed to play as long as he's playing in the minors.
No. Again, it's rehab assignment. So in other words, if he's cleared, once he's cleared, there's a difference in we're talking about verbiage. Okay. Minor league games are for those that didn't make the majors. Rehab assignments they play in the minors. So it's like a roster exemption. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once he's cleared to actually play and get somebody's roster spot, that's when he will be suspended or his suspension will start.
So technically, I don't even want to go with the technical stuff because that'll lead into a whole other conversation.
Yeah. So and actually, in essence, they can just sit him down right now and just save him because.
And that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, they can do that and then tell him to come back. Baseball has one of the most stricter policies. We're talking about 80 games first time.
Yeah. So whenever he's eligible to be included on the major league roster, that's when his suspension will start?
Yes, and if I'm the Padres, I'll reinstate him today so he can start immediately.
And that's what I was about to say. If he's hurt anyway, go ahead and bring him off and let him serve it out. He's hurt anyway.
Right. So if I'm the Padres, obviously he's going to be gone the rest of the season, and then he'll just come back next year, which is a huge blow.
I mean, that's a smart thing to do. And I once again ask my question, Amir, where's Aaron Judge's test? Because he's doing too much.
Let's not start talking about them because he'll take the whole show talking about them.
Yeah, we're not gonna go that far. We're not gonna go that far. But as we were talking about earlier, we did have a couple of people decide they was gonna retire. Tyson Fury, he was talking about coming back, and he has decided to go ahead and walk away. He said he's not gonna do the comeback anymore. Serena Williams, she came out and said that after the U.S. Open, she was going to retire.
The GOAT.
Hall of Fame.
Hands down, the GOAT.
Without a doubt, the GOAT.
So yeah.
The GOAT of female tennis. maybe tennis, period.
So we've seen she's taking, you know, a step back, and we've had people that have come up in that spot. So who's gonna take the ball and run with it now?
I think you're already seeing it. Coco Gauff, she's playing. Osaka, once she gets her mental right, she's playing. I can't say the little Russian girl's name, but she's balling too.
She's balling out. She's balling out.
I think you said it. I think you said it perfectly. Go ahead, Rob.
No, you good, bro. I just want to say that you good. Go ahead.
No, I flecked throughout the name perfectly. Coco Gauff. I believe that Naomi Osaka already reached the height of her career. I don't think she can get. She might be there. I don't think she'll get any better. If that makes sense.
You don't think she's young enough to?
I know.
Yeah,
these last 2 years have been really suspect for me as far as Naomi, and I'm not even talking about her mental issues. Like, she's had a lot of injuries on top of the mental. Like, it feels like it's just too much adversity against her for her to reach that pinnacle of greatness that she was. That's what I'm saying. So I don't think she'll surpass the greatness. I believe she's good enough to meet it, but not surpass it. Coco Gauff, on the other hand, just being 16, 17 years old, we ain't even seen what she's been able to, and she's reached finals. The final, you know what I'm saying, left and right. So I think that name will surpass the greatness, if that makes sense.
Derek Smith said Sloane. I'm assuming he's speaking about Sloane Stevenson.
Yeah.
Sloane
Stevenson. Nah, she's not as good as them.
And I feel like Naomi, some of her injuries are because of the mental thing, because we all know, you know, everybody's played sports, and you know, when you're not in it fully mentally, you know, that opens the door for more mistakes and more injuries and things like that to happen. So I think it's just compounded on each other, and that's what's going on. But once she gets her mental right, hopefully she can get over the injury bug and jump back into where she was before all of this stuff started happening.
She's on a nice trajectory before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole,
she's going to have a good career. I don't think she's going to be in that conversation of that GOAT conversation, but she'll have a good career. But like you guys have already said, those injuries, the mental health issues, and, you know, will she ever get back to that level? I don't think so, but I think she'll have a really good, strong career. But no, I think Coco is it. That's the one that I was going with as well.
I mean, Harding said it right, man. You got to get your mind right.
Right. You know, mental health is very important. Everybody, I feel like everybody needs to have that in their life. Before
we move on, shameless plug. When you said mental health, make sure you log in and support my guy that's coming on later, Tim Hobbs, with his mental health podcast that he has. Great premise. That allows people to talk about.
He gonna get that plug in. We'll let him get that plug in.
But yeah, that's shameless plug.
We'll let him get that in. In other sporting news, because we are the All Sports Matter podcast, right? Bubba Wallace, he inked a multi-year extension with his team, the Astros. I don't know if you talked about it yesterday, but we talk about baseball here too. Brantley, he's done for the season after he had his surgery. So
he had surgery this morning. So I didn't touch on that yesterday. I know he's been out, but he has surgery today, out for the entire season. So it's a big blow to the Astros, honestly.
And you know, we got stuff going on within football too. We just had we saw, what was it, the black retirees, they got their claims rescinded from tests, so now they're eligible to start getting paid for head injuries and stuff like that, because a lot of them had cases of early onset dementia and stuff like that, and it wasn't getting looked at. That they had bias in the test, so that came out today. And one of the biggest stories that came out today, and I know we started talking about it, but it came out, Deshaun Watson, he said, well, I'm willing to take an 8-game suspension and pay a $5 million fine, and he's quoted as saying he's truly sorry to the women that he's impacted. But if you're maintaining your innocence, how are you truly sorry for the people that you've impacted?
Well, I mean, we're not stupid. We know something happened. To what degree it happened, we don't know exactly.
Don't know.
But, I mean, he knows. So, I mean,
Exactly.
I don't know. I think that's him. I think that's more of a PR move for him at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more of a PR move to try to get that 8 games that he said that he would settle for.
Right.
Or he just trying to get free tickets to that national massage conference that got going on in Cleveland.
Which is in Cleveland. That's crazy.
It is the national massage conference.
It really is, but you are the worst. Look, at this point, this guy, man, I'm like, he's trying to save face as well as trying to stop this 1 year suspension. Because, like Goodell said, he's shown nothing but extreme predatory behavior, and he could say whatever he wants at this point. Something happened, and because if nothing happened, why are you going to settle for 8 games? And what is it, 500,000 now that he's willing?
No, he said 5 million.
Say 5 million.
5 million. Okay,
Yeah.
5 million he's willing to pay in fines. Last time I checked, sir, you would not give up $5 million if you did nothing wrong.
Exactly. So I still think that it's going to be at least a year that he's going to get. That's what they're trying to do. Although I did hear rumblings that the NFL is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amir, you broke this earlier. The NFL is thinking about taking that settlement just to get it over with. So
I saw that.
Yeah, it was multiple reports actually today.
Right.
Goodell's looking for the year. Watson is okay with 8. The Players Association is okay with 8. The reason being they're looking to agree to the settlement is because, like Fleck mentioned last week, if Goodell says you're down for a year, then it comes another appeal, and the players got to do their appeal. Then it goes to Supreme Court. They just want this to be over with. It's been 2 years. This was going on for 2 years, and the NFL is actually losing money as long as Watson is not suspended. I think as long as something happens, whether we like it or not, whether the women like it or not, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but as long as nothing happens, this is still going to be a black eye to the NFL. Something has to happen so they can move on. And I think Goodell finally realized we just got to end this. So they might accept the 8 games and then move on, and we'll see.
Exactly.
What kind of backlash should we expect if the NFL does say, okay, we'll settle for the 8?
Well, it's huge because you got and it's crazy because this is the first year they went to independent arbitration, right? So they had that to fall back on. They can say, hey, it wasn't us. It was the judges, because Goodell would have given him a 2-year ban off the rip. According to the new Players Association, what's it called? The CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, they go into independent. I think Calvin Ridley was the last one that was suspended through the NFL, and now everybody's like, well, Calvin Ridley got a year's ban for betting $15,000 on whatever, and that has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always wants to go back and be like, well, Ray Rice got 2 games, and then it ended up being 2 years, and then what I'm saying, after the video came out originally, and then
Ray Rice ain't played since.
Right, exactly. But we all know talent talks. If they got talent, they still got time. They're going to get over these black eyes, but the NFL is really saying, hey, it's not us. Our hands are tied, arbitration. That's why they're wanting to settle, because if it would have been them giving the punishment to begin with, they would never settle. They would have been suspended them indefinitely, and then the 1-year suspension after the indefinitely, which would have came up to 2 years. But because of the CBA, they went and said, we got an arbitrator. Let's follow the arbitrator.
So I guess my question then would be, okay, if they're gonna be like, after one counter offer, they're gonna be like, okay, we'll do that to get this over with. Why not just take the 6 games and be like, okay, that's what it is. We're not appealing it. Let's get this thing over with.
The 2 games make that much of a difference. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It does in a sense where it's like, okay, since Watson was the one that came out and says, I will sit for 8 games, they don't want to go out saying, let Watson decide what his punishment is. They want to be like, oh, you say 8, we'll say 9. That's more than half the season. Something dumb like that is going to happen, because the NFL really needs to have the last word. That's just facts. It's always been that way. So I don't think they'll settle for the 8. They'll probably say 9. They'll probably still push for the year. We don't know. But the NFL really wants us to be over with, so I wouldn't be surprised if they say, hey, do 10 or something along those lines, because they just want their punishment to be handed, not Watson saying what I'm willing to do.
Right. And at this point, it's a waiting game, and the like you said, the NFL will have the last word. And I think a group that really has their eyes on this right now are the New Orleans Saints, because they have their superstar running back and not in the same position because he's facing criminal charges, but they're still waiting to see how long he's going to be out for. So, to parlay into that and transition into that, how long realistically do we see Alvin Kamara getting? And is it going to be based off of what happens with Deshaun Watson?
I don't think it'll be based off what happens with Deshaun Watson, but I think his is still in criminal court. So he ain't even got a decision from criminal court yet.
Criminal court, yeah.
I think, what I'm saying, once it's settled criminally, or if I'm using the right word, maybe not using the right word, but once it's settled in court, then I think we'll be able to say, okay, he may be suspended for this length of time. I think right now, though, it has to play out in court first.
So right now, I think his court case is scheduled for at the end of August, something like that. That's his court date. So if for whatever reason, if the trial is stayed or whatever, and they don't go to trial, do you see him actually playing while this is happening, or will he be a healthy scratch until all of this stuff is taken care of?
If it's in court, I don't think they'll let him play.
No, I believe he'll play. I believe he'll play.
If it's playing out in court,
I don't know. I'm not gonna say they do anything illegally, but obviously if it's in court, say he gets a fine and he has to pay restitution, something along the line. I think it all depends on what the punishment is going to be in court. And if it's just a fine, then the NFL probably say, well, 2 games based upon your actions. If it's probation, they probably lift it up to 4 to 6 games. I think they're waiting to see what is being handed down.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jen. Your question was, will he play while the court case is going on? Right.
Right. Yeah, that was the question.
It's up to the Saints.
Yeah. I don't think Goodell's going to let that. I think Goodell's going to be on the phone, and that's not
right. And that's why I was asking: is it because they can't technically suspend him until something happens with the court case? So you can technically still play him. That's why I asked: would he be a healthy scratch for it?
And I think that's what it'll be. I don't think it wouldn't be. I don't want to say it'd be a bad look for the league, but it wouldn't be a good look for a league. You letting this guy play while he's got a criminal court case going on.
Yeah, but are we going to do the same thing next year? Like Watson sat out a whole year of not being suspended, got paid, sat on the bench, nothing happened. Here we are a year later, still wondering what's going on, because they could take that long. So Kamara's going to be a scratch for the season.
Well,
when he's only going to get like a 2-game suspension.
No. But see, okay, so Watson and Kamara, that's comparing apples to oranges, though.
No, I get what you're saying, but you guys are saying do nothing.
His case is more centralized to that one incident. With Watson, there was 20.
And I get that, and I agree with you. What I'm saying is, do you sit out your player when at the end of the day he might only get a 2-game suspension? You know what I'm saying? Like, or do we wait? Or do we wait a year because this may not be resolved in court that soon? That's what I'm comparing.
I don't see this one. I don't see his case playing out that long. I think it's going to be something that's going to happen real quick. You know what I'm saying? A week at most.
Well, it's been that long already, though.
I don't.
Well, he hasn't gone to court yet, though. He goes to court at the end of the month.
I get that. This happened in February.
I'm looking at something.
Right, but I'm saying I think once that case is decided criminally, and I may still be using the wrong word, but once that case is decided criminally, I think that's when the NFL or whoever is issuing the punishment is going to say, okay, you got this in criminal court, we're going to suspend you for this amount of games. I don't think it's I don't think it's something that's going to drag on throughout the entire year like the whole Deshaun Watson thing did.
Right.
What I'm getting at.
And I don't think
drag out that long.
I don't think the trial will be stayed. I think it's going to happen at the end of August, like it's supposed to, and whatever's going to happen, the judgment's going to come when it's supposed to come, and then we'll get whatever suspension is supposed to be. I'm looking at,
and I wouldn't be surprised if it was settled before it went to court.
It most likely will be. And I'm looking at the comments, Derek. I don't think Kamara is on federal charges. I don't think it's federal charges.
I don't think it's federal.
No, it's Vegas. It's
right.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I don't think it's federal. But yeah, we go see what they give him.
Before you move on, Jim, question: wasn't it close? Didn't Sherman play while he was awaiting trial?
Yeah.
Richard Sherman played.
Beating up his ex-wife's
ex-wife. And yeah, he beat up his ex-wife's father. So he did continue to play while he was awaiting trial. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to have to sit out because of the awaiting trial. Because
I don't think so either.
I don't think Richard Sherman actually played. I think he could have played, but he was hurt. He was injured, and so he didn't play. But they didn't suspend him, so he could have played.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. So it's 6:21 now. We know where we're going at, but before we move on, let's
Jim,
go ahead.
Before you move on,
yes, sir.
I just looked it up. Kamara's court case is actually September 29th.
Oh, okay.
So,
they're not available when they see the Falcons on the 11th, but
they're not going to.
And another caveat, Tatis Jr. has been immediately suspended, 80 games. He'll start serving it today. That came down from Major League Baseball.
That's what I expected.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he meant felony charges, not federal, fellas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. So some sports, some scores real quick. The Falcons and the Lions in preseason, the Lions up 17-14. The Browns and Jaguars, which Deshaun Watson is playing tonight, is still at 0-0. JJ Spawn is right now leading, or he's leading right now in the FedEx St. Jude Championship. That's golf for you golf folks. He's with a -11. The Braves and the Marlins are tied at 0-0. Padres and Nationals 0-0. Yankees, Boston Red Sox are tied at 0-0. Those are some of the scores.
It's 1-0 Yankees now.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is 1-0 Yankees, and also 1-0 Marlins for the Braves fans. But we're talking football. So, with that being said, let's jump right into the AFC South. Big robbery. Introduce the fellas tonight, shall we?
So I am blessed and humbled to have a myriad of real close friends, more like family, on here tonight representing the AFC South. I'll start off with my guy that has been one of my closest and best friends since 1987 when we played church league together, and have ever since been running together through life and stayed close. Tennessee Titans representative, Mr. Timothy Hopkins, step up on the stream and let them know who you are, brother.
Hey, what's happening, man? Hey, I'm happy to be here. Appreciate you guys, having me on and everything. Hey, I couldn't have asked for a better introduction. It almost made me tear up there, with that church league reference and everything. That was
well, I'm gonna put you right on the fire, before we move on to the other guys, since we got the Tennessee guy up here. Are you Team Malik or are you Team Ryan?
Ooh, that's a good
one.
Now, you mean Team Tannehill? Team Tannehill?
Team Ryan, his name Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah.
Ryan Manning. No, not Manning.
Yeah. Hey, just for the simple fact that I didn't recognize his first name there. That ought to tell you a lot. He personally sunk us last year in the playoffs. I like what I saw from the kid in the preseason game the other night. I think his upside is tremendous. I like him wearing that number 7. Michael Vick tribute. It looks like a Michael Vick tribute to me because that's how he looked rolling out and kind of scrambling on that Ravens defense and everything. But I think we've gone as far as Tannehill can take us. So I'd have to say, and I need a larger sample size, but I'm leaning towards team.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
My guy, that's what I'm talking about. So next one out here, Jacksonville Jaguar representative. My guy since 2001, back when we were at Fort Benning, Georgia together. My little old brother. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, little old brother. Maurice Robinson, Little Rob. Come on in, show them who you are, brother.
Man, hey, what's good with you fellas? I appreciate y'all having me. It's a privilege and a pleasure. Duval is in the house. And for the record, you older than me. I love the conversation y'all been having, gentlemen. That Tatis thing is going to be a killer for the Padres. But hey, let's get it.
Yeah, right.
So my starting question to you is under 5 games for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Under. I'm gonna say under.
And
Over.
why? And why?
Over because they don't know how to lose yet.
Oh, they know how.
What?
Oh, they
No,
know
no,
how.
Last season.
That's
They know how.
why I say this. That's why I say
They
this.
well versed in that.
New coach, new total regime. It's a new energy around the place.
I think.
Unless you learn early, you don't know how to lose. You know what I'm saying? So a win or two under their belt will benefit them a whole lot.
All right.
And the truth is also the other way. If they start losing early, they're going to learn to lose
calling you a
over
liar.
what?
That buzzer, whatever that buzzer was, that was somebody telling you a lie.
No, that ain't that. But hey, I think we're gonna have a good year though. I mean, we got some young talent. The guys just got to play. That's all it is. They got to ball
after sitting out, not by choice, obviously, due to injury, his rookie year. What impact does Travis Etienne has or will have for Jaguars?
It depends on how the coaching staff uses it. If they want to use him in the passing game as like a swing back, they might be fine. But his success is going to be pivotal on James Robinson return because he's not an every down back. So if you
overuse is projected to return this season.
Who's not?
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
Who's not every down back? Who are we saying?
You say Etienne is not every down back.
Okay.
Yeah, Etienne is not an every down back, but he's not going to be one that you can hand the ball off to 15, 20 times a game either. He's not that type of back.
I agree with that.
I don't think James Robinson is coming back anytime soon.
Well, he's not on the peak. He's still rehabbing an Achilles injury, but if they mix it up just right, I think they'll be okay.
Achilles is that's a tough injury to come back from in football.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Especially for a running back.
Mm-hmm.
That's your bread and butter. That's what you need that to even be relevant.
The young back that they got that's there called his name is Snoop Connor. I hadn't seen much of him. I was hoping to catch the game tonight. He's somewhat decent.
I'm actually watching him now.
Once again, young team. That's what I mean by if they learn to win, they'll forget about losing. But it's the same as on the flip side. If you start losing, you're going to learn to lose.
So I guess I'm going to continue asking you questions here because Jacksonville as a team didn't really do much last year, but they had a bunch of individuals who did stand out, like a Marvin Jones. But I'm going to go back to your quarterback. Obviously, somebody has to give Jones the ball. I'm not going to say he's going to have a sophomore slump because I don't think he can get worse than he did last year, but does he get better or does he do the same? Talk to me about Goldilocks.
Sunshine.
Okay.
Sunshine.
It's still to me, it's still his rookie year. Only reason I say that is because he's got a brand new coach now, whole new regime to learn and everything else.
What is that?
You got another wrong answer.
The hell is happening?
There you go again. That's why I got away from it. But it's I don't know. I saw shades of greatness last year. I know I'm gonna see shades of greatness this year. But they need everything to click. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Welcome, Quincy, to the
it's a young team with no veteran leadership around. So I mean, it's a bunch of studs out there, like you say. Somebody got to step up somewhere and just kind of bring this team along.
All right.
What's up, Q?
All right. So look, we're gonna move on.
Hey, before we move on, because Amir didn't ask how this. Hey, how many games you see us winning this year?
Over under.
Over under
2.
9 games.
2.
He said 2. both against
Over
the Jaguars.
under 9 games for the Titans.
Who you asking, Fleck?
T-Hop.
I'm asking
Titans fan.
We're going over 9. We're going over.
Where's that buzzer at?
We're going over 9 games. You can book that. I hadn't even looked at the schedule. You can book.
You no need to even look. Huh?
We'll talk about the schedule toward the end. We'll talk about the schedule toward the end. But I got it on 10 and 7. That's my prediction.
I predict that the Titans gonna have a quarterback change in the middle of the year.
Oh,
I don't think it'll happen in the middle of the year, but by next year, definitely.
I don't think that's a prediction. Right. Everybody know.
I think everybody see the writing on the wall on that one.
That's a certainty.
We see that right, and it's very clear. I don't even have to be bilingual to understand what they writing on that wall. So it's almost over for that fella.
Very easily.
So we're gonna move on. I got to bring my guy in here, Naptown representative.
Nah, bring him in last. Let's go to the Texans.
You want him to be last?
Let's go to the Texans.
Nah, bring him in now.
Bring the coach man in last.
Look, let's get into it. Let's see what the coach
man in last. Let's go to the Texans.
Gonna bring him in last. All right. Let me bring the Texans fan. Let me bring the Texans fan in.
Look, representing from the 8th town, from Houston, Texas, Mr. Brandon. Come on up in here. Show him what time it is. Talk to him.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Touchdown age time.
Look, when the last time you been to Turkey Leg Hut? Let's talk about it. Let's go.
2 weeks ago. It's actually not too far from the job, you did.
Talk to them. Tell them. I know what you're talking about. Tell them.
It really is the truth. They put anything you could think of on a turkey leg and serve it up. It's off the chain. Off the chain.
I'm about to take me a flight.
Shit.
Tell you something. That's 5 hours. I get on the road real quick. 5 hours ain't that long for a turkey leg.
I got you, Jim. Next time you come this way, I got you next time.
So, talk to us about the Texans. What do you foresee for the Texans this season coming up? How will it go?
Let me start off like this.
Start off right now.
I'm pretty sure that's what the general manager did.
we got problems. We got problems. From the top from the top all the way to the bottom. The management we all know is rough, to say the least. The GM, they've been trying to copy the Patriots for the last 10 years and still not working out for them. Caserio was the previous GM assistant in New England. We did the whole Bill O'Brien experiment. That was awful. It's just rough. It's rough. We got problems, man. We got problems. If I can highlight anything, I would probably say we actually had a legitimate draft until Mitchie get leukemia. I thought he would have been a really nice pairing with Brandon Cooks. But Brandon Cooks after that, it's rough on offense. It's rough. And defense, I really like Stingley. He was probably the best player in college football 3 years ago. We still got to figure that out, but I think that's a real good spot to start.
Y'all did this. Whoa.
Somebody from everybody know they lying.
I thought I was blatantly honest. I don't know where the buzzer come from on that one, man.
I agree. I give you all the props in the world on that one. Do you trust? It's kind of hard. David Mills?
I really think we just banking on the Bryce Young. I think we're just banking on Bryce Young next season. They can't think that Davis Mills is the long-term answer. I just think they just got stuck because Tyrod started, last year, and then that fell apart in 1.5 games, I believe it was, something like that. Then Davis Mills took over. Brandon Cooks actually went over 1,000 yards, which actually really surprised me, but it wasn't much after that. I mean, the Texans are 30th in every important statistical category. We got problems, though. We got problems.
Yeah.
I don't think problems is the term. That's
not the proper term. I don't think Davis Mills was the issue though. He looked good in limited samples. He looked good. I mean, I think
David Mills is.
I'm not saying that they lost in spite of him, but he didn't contribute to winning any games either.
I mean, he can't win. He can't win if he's flat on his back though.
I agree. And the offensive line got problems too. We got Gas Mask Tunsil, Titus Howard. This dude, he's a tackle. He could do backflips, but can't pass protect to save his life. Britt, the center, he could have went in free agency, but he knew nobody else wanted him, so he just stayed put. Just drafted a dude out of A&M, hometown kid. He's gonna step in immediately. We got problems, dog. We got problems.
Very heavy SEC draft because y'all got a running back that's gonna be nice for y'all.
He will, Damian Pierce from Florida. I do see good things from him, and he will have Marlon Mack because Marlon Mack got something to prove. Because after Jonathan Taylor's season last season, it's justified kicking him to the curb. So he got to make something happen. And from what I understand, Pierce, he's that dude. If you need 2 yards, he's gonna go get you 3. So that's a much better improvement over Rex Burkhead. You feel me? So like I said, if anything, there was any bright side, it was the draft. I did like some of the pieces that we came away with in the draft.
Yeah, if everybody that y'all drafted lives up to the potential, then y'all did have a nice draft. I'll give y'all that.
I got one question from Houston. I understand Texas got a lot of issues to deal with.
I don't know who that is trying to sound like me.
Yeah, I need to. I need a little bit more on
your mic.
Your mic is on sexy talk.
Oh, my bad. Is that better? Is that better?
Yep, I got you. I got you.
All right. Yeah, I was just saying, I know the Texans have issues and they're looking at probably a tough season and all. But I know when I came on, my man from Jacksonville went over on 5 games. And I'm going to say he's probably counting on getting those 2 against y'all. I want to know what you got to say about that, man. Because he said over 5. And I can guarantee he was counting them 2 against the Texans.
I mean,
keep counting those, enjoy that. But just keep in mind, y'all lost to Bill O'Brien like 6-7 times.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
True that. Things change though.
I want to ask you a personal question there. The Houston Texans are one of the newer franchises in the NFL. Who was you rooting for before then?
I'm from New Orleans.
I was about to say, I hear that.
I'm from New Orleans.
It's something about New Orleans people that like to root for multiple teams. That's the real basis of my question.
Yeah.
Root for multiple teams. Hold on a second.
There it is. I knew it was coming.
We ain't talking about this.
We choosing violence today.
Woke up and chose all the violence. I don't know why. That wasn't for nobody. That didn't need to be happening. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you have it.
So my question to you, Brandon.
Over
under 6 games.
I'm taking the under.
I'm about to say,
that's a weird call. My show was like, no,
even in that division, I'm taking the under.
Smart man. That man there.
I don't know about that under. I don't know about the under. I think right at 6 games.
For the Houston Texans.
They won 4 games They won 4 games last year, and I think things have actually gotten worse.
For the Houston Football Texans.
I agree. Yeah, I don't see.
But you got a new coach. Lovey like run cover 2. He gonna make Derek Stingley a stud. Your running back, he gonna feature your running back, so it may take a little pressure off Davis Mills. We'll see.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this: I don't have any faith in Derek Stingley because
you're a hater.
Devontae Smith would tear his shirt off.
You see the live buzzer. The live buzzer hit you. You see the live buzzer hit you because you're a hater.
Where that buzzer coming from? You're alive with Stingley.
All I'm saying is,
come right on
all
time.
I'm saying is, only wide receiver to get the Heisman and average 200 yards against Derek Stingley came from the University of Alabama. And I feel like you're a hater.
And all I'm saying about Stingley is he was shutting down Jefferson and Chase every day in practice.
He did.
Every day in practice.
For some reason, though, he couldn't do nothing with Devontae, though.
What Devontae Smith did in the league?
Oh, I mean, he's just starting out
right now, man, and I'm finding it kind of hard to find 6 games that they'll win.
I can't find 6. And look, before we move on and dispute the 6, let me let my guy in from the coach because I know he got some input on this.
You got something to say.
Look, look, this is the only team that's won a Super Bowl from the AFC South coming on right now, representing the Nap Town itself, Mr. Jermaine P. Diddy Perriman. Come on in, big fella. Go ahead and get your time in.
Hey, you already know I was heated. Sitting there listening to this trash. Hey, only one dude honest, man. The rest of these dudes, man, get them off the podcast immediately. Hey, I'm from that city, the Crooked Eye, Naptown, 317, baby, Post Road. Let's go get it. Let's get to work.
So look, how you feel about what they were saying about each of the different teams?
Come on, bro. Come on, man. He was truth about the Texans. They garbage. He was right. Jacksonville, I really think they're gonna end up losing their team. I don't know how long else they're gonna have a team down there. Tennessee, by game 4, they should have a quarterback change. Their only hope is Derrick Henry come back a little healthy. After that, bro, they traded their best wide receiver for a bag of Doritos. So
that trade pissed me off. I'm on record. That trade pissed me off.
First of all, sir, they traded him for a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. It wasn't Cheetos. We need to get that together.
This is gonna be a pretty easy run for us this year in the division. This. Yes, sir.
Dude, y'all got Matt Ryan. He fish.
Huh?
Fish. He ain't steak. He fish. He ain't the good fish.
So, my question for you is, who was he throwing it to?
Ooh. So that's a great question. That's a great question. So Michael Pittman is our number 1. Alex Pierce out of Cincinnati, we drafted. He looks like he's going to be the 2 right now. A couple of the insiders, they say that we've been having conversations with OBJ to bring him in around week 6, but that's unproven. So we're thin in the wide receiver room. That's probably one of the places of concern right now. And I think we're going to have to address it with a veteran. And T.Y. is still out there, obviously, but I don't think they're going to bring T.Y. back.
I wouldn't.
What's their issue with T.Y.?
Injury prone.
Injury last year. He was injury prone. We paid him $10 million last year, and he was missed most of the season. And then the year before that, he didn't finish strong enough. We lost to Jacksonville. So you got to get somebody else in that room. And I think it's going to be OBJ. Everything that I've been hearing is looking like they're trying to get OBJ.
Will he be ready though? I'm coming off that injury.
Well, if you look at our first 6 or 7 games, if he come back around the 7th, 8th game, that'd be perfect. We should be still okay by that time. Working him into that offense though is the part that I'm a little concerned about. So I think they need to sign him now so he can get into the playbook.
I don't see OBJ going to Indy. He's either because him and Von Miller's been going back and forth on Twitter together. Yeah. So Buffalo's a possibility, and I think he ultimately ends back up in.
I think he's staying in LA.
Yeah, I think
he definitely won't be back with LA.
So I guess my question to you is, okay, you putting all the eggs in the OBJ basket. If that doesn't happen, then what?
You run the football. If you got Mo Ali Cox, but Mo Ali Cox, this is his first year leading that tight end room, so I'm not putting a lot of stock in him. But you run the football. We got 3 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line. You line JT up and you tote that thing. That's what we do if we don't have somebody out there catching.
And that was the question I was about to ask you. How do you see JT's stat line lining up? You see him going over under 1,000 yards?
What?
He's going way over 1,000. I think because there's an emphasis to get Nyheim Hines touches out of the backfield, catching and running. I think they're going to try to conserve him. So I don't think he's going to hit the 2,000 like a lot of people thinking, but I think he'll go over 1,500 easy.
Over 15 easy. How many touchdowns you see him getting?
Touchdowns, I'll say between 12 and 15. I'll give him between 12 and 15.
I got a question for you. I want to address the elephant in the room.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you feel about? Tell me about your addition of Matt Ryan. How you feel about that?
Only thing we need Matt Ryan to do is what Carson Wentz couldn't do: make the layup. Keep the chains moving. If JT gets us 8 yards, get us 3 yards. Get us 3 yards. Get the chains. That's the only thing we need: a quarterback competent enough to move to keep the chains moving. And then when he gets down in the red zone, let JT finish it. And I think as long as he can keep the trust, if you think about it, if you watch him with Pitts and Gage last year, he could still throw the football. And as long as he makes the layups, we'll be fine with Matt Ryan. And I think, honestly, he's a bridge. I think, he's going to be a bridge guy until we find that young kid to bring in and really get that position solidified for some years.
Okay. All right.
Maybe y'all should have signed Julio, man. He didn't give us nothing last year.
Another injury prone veteran that we don't need.
And the thing with Julio went to the perfect place for him because they're not going to need him. You know what I'm saying? Playoff time, that's when they'll rest him up all year. I guarantee it. Come playoff time, that's when they'll unleash him. And yeah.
So I have a question for the group though. With the AFC being as stacked as it is, do y'all see a wild card team coming out of the AFC South?
No.
Yes.
No. I don't.
Yes.
I think whoever wins the AFC South is going to be the only representative from the
I heard it, yes. Who said yes?
AFC North might get 3. Might get 3 playoff spots.
Now the AFC West is going to get
West.
3. AFC West is going to get
3. AFC West and AFC North are both going to get 3
West spots. Is going to be brutal.
The only reason I say that, gentlemen, is because who knows what goes on during the course of a football year. We got 2 excellent teams in the South. Now, I ain't talking about mine. I'm talking about Tennessee and Indianapolis, who have the capability and who are built to win in the playoffs. They have defenses already set. I mean, they got a few question marks out there, but anything can happen. Look at Cincinnati. No offensive line. Where do they go?
As good as your defense is, you got to score points.
Right. I think it's only going to take 9 or 10 wins to win the AFC South.
My question,
exactly, and that doesn't put 2 teams in the playoffs.
Right.
So who will have those 9 or 10 wins to win the NFC South?
It's going to be Indy or Tennessee.
It's going to be Indy. It'll be Tennessee and Indy. Well, the question is, I have for Tennessee,
I didn't give you an answer,
and I still need to understand who y'all going to, because you gave away your number 1.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so looking at the preseason and following training camp, I mean, a name to watch is he's a former LSU Tiger, Racing McMath. That dude, by all accounts, in training camp and then the first preseason game, he playing pretty good. Kyle Phillips out of the slot, rookie from UCLA. The coaches are very high on him. Treylon Burke, he's getting his conditioning down. I think by mid-season he'll be all right. But those three names, Treylon Burks, Racing McMath, and Kyle Phillips are going to be 3 names to look out for.
I'm gonna give you a name. Well, actually, I'll give you 2. A lot of people, they overlook Stefan Gilmore signing with us. Everything coming out of camp saying he's looking like his MVP season. He's back healthy, breaking on everything. I think he already got like 3 or 4 picks in camp already. And then the kid we drafted, Nick.
Defense was never the problem. Defense was never the problem. No,
no, the problem was last year on that. The problem last year that I saw on our defense was that we couldn't get a pass rush and get teams off the field. The good teams, you got to get them off the field on 3rd down. So we went and got that kid out of off the Raiders, Ngakwe, I think is how you pronounce his name. Edge rusher, and then Stefan Gilmore, and then I'll give you a bonus. Nick Cross, he's going to probably be starting safety as a rookie. He's been pretty nice as well in camp. So I think we'll get 10 games this season. I think we'll go 10-7, and I think we'll win the division at 10-7.
Gentlemen, I add one caveat. I think the AFC West is going to beat up on itself. So
Me
that
too.
10-win threshold, you may see a situation where you will have a wild card team coming out of the South. Baltimore, to me, is head and shoulders above the rest in the North. The West is the only question.
Baltimore head and shoulders?
Don't tighten your face up. He said what he said. You heard him.
Yeah, that's it.
Joe Burrow is still the quarterback in Cincinnati. They still had Jamar Chase.
What receivers they got in Baltimore?
Boyd. They still had Higgins. They
What
still
receivers?
got
You know what, Fleck? We're not even talking about them yet. We ain't talking
We're
about
not
them
gonna
yet.
go into this yet. I ain't gonna get involved yet. I ain't gonna get involved.
Because I got some questions on that, but I ain't gonna talk about them.
We ain't gonna go into that.
Who said that?
Newsom playing tight end, I think.
Who said that? Who said Baltimore was head and shoulders above?
Lil Rob. All I'm saying is,
when we do the AFC North,
we bringing it back. Yeah, we bringing it back.
Yes, we will.
Lamar
I
Jackson
think,
can't throw the ball.
Big Rob paid Little Rob to say that one.
I feel like he did. What the buzzer was? Where was the buzzer at for that?
Hey, the buzzer wasn't available. It was like, you're right on, brother.
I got a quote here to add to your question there, Rob, Big Rob. And I quote Mike Vrabel says Treylon Burks needs to have a good week of practice this week. He was inconsistent last night and then take some of the improvements and strides he's been making in training camp into the game. So
I agree.
He's not ready.
Is he still conditioned? How you still conditioned?
But I said that.
He almost died
when I named those names. I said that.
Like,
that was
day one. He almost died day one.
5 months later, 5-6 months later, how you still conditioned? What are you doing?
And the thing is that if you look at the schedule of most receivers, I'm just talking the most. Most receivers don't hit into year 3, so I wouldn't put much stock in that kid this season anyway. Because if you follow the most receivers, now I'm not talking. You got your guy in Cincinnati. Him and Jefferson. They kind of been a little above the curve, but most receivers hit that 3rd year. And so I wouldn't look for him to do too much. LSU
receivers come out.
And them scrubs out of Alabama, all them are either
Tell me about it.
Alabama produced
Tell me
running backs,
about it.
LSU produced wide receivers.
They don't produce no backs. The Trent Richardson, did y'all forget that finasco that we did when we signed this Trent Richardson?
Trent was looking good in that alternate league, man. Trent was running real strong, man. Real strong. I still want to stuff.
There's some real aggression on this. I see we did choose violence today with this tomfoolery.
You want woke up to violence, sir. Look, following suit.
I'm just gonna say this. Last time I checked, what's the last Heisman winner out of LSU?
First of all,
hey, how do we get into college? We're talking about the
Hey, look, I'm just saying.
It was Joe Burrow, wasn't it?
It was Joe Burrow. Yep.
Joe Burrow was the last one, but we also had one after that.
But
in fact, we had 2 back to back.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like a Ravens fan.
You do. And Alabama fan.
Anyway, continue. Go ahead. Continue on.
Hey, did just for the group, did anybody happen to catch the NFL power rankings?
No, I didn't.
One's on Bleacher Report.
Houston is ranked the last team.
Yeah.
Jacksonville is the 25th. Tennessee is the 16th, and we're the 9th. That's ESPN. I know that's NFL. On ESPN, they got the Titans at 11. They got us at 14. They got Jacksonville at 26. And they got Houston at 28.
That make a lot.
Appreciate it, dog.
I don't really.
This is laughing too much.
Hey, while we're talking about the AFC South, I want to go back to Jacksonville for a second. And the guy that actually reset the wide receiver market for pay, which cost me, bro.
What were you thinking?
What the hell was Jacksonville thinking?
Think about this. If you think about that money won't be the same. It won't amount to the same in 2 years.
But it reset the receiver market this year.
Right. It sure did. But you know why they did it?
Now I got a receiver trying to hold out.
I got 72 mil. We wouldn't see these receivers with these crazy.
Okay.
AJ Brown wouldn't have got traded.
If Christian Kirk is worth 18 million, then Devontae Adams was right to go for almost 30.
Right.
So if I reset the receiver market, who can't you keep? That's a tough decision to make, right?
But in NFL, really,
that ain't
guaranteed money is what counts.
That ain't what they were thinking when they gave that money. They just overpaid.
Hey, they had to overpay to get anybody to come down there. That's been
the
case. Jacksonville wasn't thinking, hey, we give him 72 mil, we finna get a lot of these guys going. Nah, they wasn't thinking that.
Well, I was
thinking, man, we gotta throw money at somebody.
Think about this before we were good, before we made our championship run, AFC championship run. What do? We had to overpay folks to come to Jacksonville. It's okay. It's all right. We'll take that hit.
I don't know about that because y'all drafted Ramsey, y'all drafted Fournette, and y'all might have overpaid for a couple of y'all defensive players that year, but most of the cats y'all drafted. So
the Jaguars was just in the AFC Championship game like 3 seasons ago.
Right. I mean,
it was 4 seasons ago, and most of their best players they
most
drafted.
of the people from that team are gone now.
Oh, well, I get that, but it was poor management.
Right.
Well, bad is it's a seed that's in there that they need to get out. That's really, really bad. So I mean, because the team was there.
What seed is that? The owner?
That's all this
stuff. The owner,
right?
I don't think it's the owner.
They've replaced.
I think it's the owner's son.
Who else is left?
The owner's son owned AEW, but
the father is he's Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's the one that's focused on the Jaguars. The son is focused on the wrestling. And
Tony Khan is the one.
Tony is with AEW. What you call it? The father, I forget his name.
Shad Khan or something like that.
Is it true that he's trying to move the team to London though?
No, he's not trying to go nowhere. They get ready to build another stadium.
Okay. They sure have a game in London every year.
Yeah,
that was agreed upon.
They got to generate revenue.
I mean, I get it.
Well, you know,
if you think about it,
they have more people in the stands in London than they do in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is a Florida Georgia town. It's not really Jacksonville Bulls. Come on, man. I mean, it's just one of them things. I mean, them cats love football down there. It's just they gotta win. You know,
Jacksonville doesn't have any home games.
All the home games in London.
They never have home games.
You got true jokes.
So, okay, so I guess we're gonna go one by one. We're gonna ask y'all, how do you see the division 1 through 4? We'll start with Lil Rob, and we'll work our way around. So, Rob, how do you see the division shaping out 1 through 4?
I'm torn between Tennessee and Indianapolis till I see them play a little bit at 1 and 2. I see us 3. I see Houston at 4.
Okay.
All right.
Tremaine?
You know, that's a very good question. I still got us, I think, going 1. I got Tennessee 2. With the new coaching staff in Jacksonville, actually like Mills a little bit better than I like the kid out of Clemson. But I guess, you know, with the running back coming back, you got to go Jacksonville than Houston. But yeah, I agree.
What you got, Brandon?
Indy's gonna be on top. Tennessee behind them. I think Indy's defense is a little bit better than Tennessee's defense. And Jonathan Taylor, you know, we know what we're going to get from him. Derrick Henry, I feel confident about him, but his running style, it's just starting to take a toll on him at this point.
Yeah.
I do think the Texans squeak out 3 wins, 2 of them against Jacksonville. So, you know, where they put the
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
All right, what you got, y'all?
Man, there's so much meat in this, man. I don't even know where to start. On the defensive issue, isn't Indy's best defensive player, didn't he just have like back surgery and change his name or something like that? Didn't Leonard do something like that?
He'll be back. He'll be back for week 1.
So he will be back.
So
he will be back. Okay. All right. That helps me a little bit. All right. So this is how I see the division. I see Jacksonville and Houston both being terrible. Okay?
Wow.
I see them ending the year in a team-wide relay race to see who go have the number 1 pick in the draft next year.
Wow.
Okay?
Y'all got y'all quarterback already. So
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Quarterback already.
The team-wide relay race?
A team-wide relay race, you know, contraction between the 2 teams is not out of the question. You can contract those 2 teams and maybe make one out of them. Now, Indianapolis, you know, I have to respect them, you know, because they've had our number in some previous years. But the question I want to know now is, you know, how many quarterbacks does it take them to get back to the playoffs? You know, I've seen, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks come through there, you know, while we've been, you know, kind of owning the division. Now, you know, Tennessee, you know, we could easily be sitting at 15-0 going into week 16, 17. You know, we could, you know, the 72 Dolphins could be there gathered around, you know, waiting to see if we go, you know, have an undefeated season and crush their dreams. But, you know, we got that division on lock. We got it on lock. It's just how many games we win at this point.
Oh, okay. Rob, Big Rob, what you got?
Hold on, man. I gotta digest this, man.
What you got?
So let me get myself together. So first off, I'm gonna go with the Colts. I got them to win the division, but it's gonna be close between them and the Titans. I think that's gonna be very close. I think Derrick Henry is gonna come back with a vengeance. He's gonna play well this year. Your defense is gonna be awesome. And then, I mean, it's like dumpster truck juice or you know, hot dog water. Either or. What you gonna go with? I mean, both of them are horrible, but
disgusting.
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. I think they'll put together.
We got a little bit more consistency in place.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit more consistent. I think they'll get about 5 wins, maybe 6 on a prayer, and then Houston will be pulling up the rear at about 4 wins this year.
If Arian Foster come back.
Oh my God!
Oh man!
What you got, Amir?
And Andre Johnson.
I got Aaron Judge home run right now, by the way. That's what I got.
What do you have for the AFC South division?
Lord.
I'm saying it just happened. My bad, guy. My bad.
Look, when they gonna pitch that? I mean, that needs to happen like immediately.
Stay.
I got Houston at the bottom.
Come on, let's go back. Come on, let's get back on track. I'm sorry.
Houston at the bottom, Jacksonville 3. I do believe it's gonna be really close. The top 2 teams, we already said it. It's gonna be 10-7, 9-8 type of season for the South. I got the Titans coming in second. I got the Colts.
What you got, Tim? Got him. What you got on my list? What you got, Blake?
I had two.
I know, but I'm going last this time.
No, you're not. I'm going. What you got?
I picked it. So what I got a stark contrast. So the top go be the top, and the bottom go be the bottom, and there's gonna be a few games between 2 and 3. The last team is gonna be the Houston Texans, just because they're the Houston Texans. I'm saying Houston winning 2 games. Then you got Jacksonville. Jacksonville coming through with Sunshine and Travis Etienne coming back, and they go ahead and win a total of 4 games. That's what I'm telling you. I'm saying it right now. You can say what you want, but that's what I'm calling. Then at the top, I think it's gonna come down to 1 game, and that 1 game is gonna be won by the Tennessee Titans. So the Titans go win the division by 1 game. It's gonna come down to the end of the season, and the Titans go ahead and win it by 1 game. At the end.
I got breaking news. Zach Wilson headed to the locker room with injury. Quarterback of the Jets.
His mama best friend is in the locker room. She's the massage therapist.
She waiting on him.
She's the massage therapist in the locker room.
She got a white coat of baby oil on waiting on him.
First off, I am shocked to hear you say anything positive about the Titans.
What?
But
who said something positive about the Titans?
Whatever. But
you just said they're gonna win the division.
Hey,
you just said they're gonna win the division.
I'm being the sportscaster. That's my job. I'm not saying nothing positive about them. I'm just saying calling it how I see it.
Okay. I'll take it for what it is.
Like saying you the tallest midget. I don't understand the problem.
That's not the PC term.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
PC.
we're gonna say PC.
So for me, and I'll start at the bottom. I think Jacksonville, it's gonna be between Jacksonville and Houston, of course. I think Jacksonville has more in terms of on-field continuity than the Texans do. So I'm gonna go Texans at the bottom, then Jacksonville, and like to piggyback off what Jim said, it's gonna come down to the Colts and the Titans at 1. I think the Titans are gonna win it, but it's like Jim said, it's not gonna be by much. It's not gonna be by much.
So my city's better than yours.
So for me, Titans, Colts, Jacksonville, Houston.
And honestly, you just don't know what Matt Ryan you're getting right now, and that's the deciding factor. You can't, you don't know if you can trust Matt Ryan just yet. And
it's gonna be the same Matt Ryan we didn't have for the last 10 years.
Old Matty Ice. He came out.
Old 28-3 Matty Ice.
You know what? You can say the same for both top teams.
You can, because you don't know what Tannehill you get, but you do know you got somebody waiting in the wings coming from behind Tannehill. Who coming from behind Matt Ryan?
That's true.
I mean, and with Tannehill's safe for at least another season or 2.
So our backup, we signed.
Good, but he's not ready yet.
We signed Nick Foles. Nick Foles is the backup.
Let me tell you something. First of all, sir, don't hang your hat on that one. I mean,
no. I'm not saying. This is the thing. You remember he was with Frank Wright in Philly.
Yeah.
So he's familiar with the system. I feel comfortable if something happened to Matt that he can step in and hand the ball off to Jonathan. I think one thing that a lot of people are not taking into consideration about the AFC South is that Tennessee literally has nobody to throw to. They have a running back, and that's it.
They got
you can't. Who's their tight end? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Hey, that's
Tennessee, sir.
Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper.
Okay, like I said, so there's Derrick Henry, some dudes in the parking lot, and y'all talking about they're gonna beat the Colts. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I think they'll split with the Colts. It's not gonna be a sweep either way.
No, we're gonna dominate.
We're gonna beat the brakes off.
It's not gonna be a sweep either way.
We're gonna
dominate.
The thing I think is gonna happen is the the Titans and the Colts are split, but the Colts might end up losing one of them games to either Houston or Jacksonville, and the Titans won't, and that's gonna cause the tiebreaker.
And not even that, we're also playing.
That was real childish.
The AFC South is also playing the AFC West this year too. So that's going to be a deciding factor too.
You said they play the AFC West.
What I was saying about them beating up on each other.
Did you? You said they play the AFC West this year?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, never mind.
So this says Zach Wilson got hurt. It was lower body and no contact. So that could be a knee.
That's not good.
Achilles.
The Browns also lost their starting center. He got carted off tonight.
Right.
I just watched what happened to Zach Wilson. He caught himself trying to make a cut, a juke move, and leg gave out.
Right.
So Jimmy Garoppolo, he did a Jimmy G. That was a Jimmy G.
He did a Jimmy G. Yeah.
His juke wasn't juking.
Right.
His juke wasn't juking. Right.
Elijah Mitchell is out with a hamstring injury as well.
But what's gonna happen with the Titans though, man? And I see what Vrabel's been going for the last few years and all, and I know my man Rob, he knows about this and everything, being from family, and my man with the Titans from Ridgecrest. But receivers don't really matter in the Titans offense. We're a power football team. We're a power football team. We line up, we hit you in the mouth. That's why we drafted Willis, because Tannehill, he played receiver back in college. We could put Willis in the backfield, Henry, another back, and we can go wishbone against y'all, man. You ain't even think about that, did you?
Whether you like it or not, the NFL, you need a top flight receiver. You're delusional if you think you're gonna win something without a number one receiver.
Right, because guess what? If you can't throw the ball, they're gonna stack the box and you ain't gonna be able to run the ball.
So what is Baltimore doing?
They don't do that.
They don't win in the playoffs.
We're not in there.
They don't win in the playoffs.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but they're winning without a number one.
Hold on, there's a little bit different though. We're talking about
the playoffs.
He said the wishbone offense. You put Ryan Tannehill. Wishbone offense.
Hold up.
Actually, guys, I see the AFC South as being becoming a black and blue division again. With some top flight defenses. It's just some offenses that just have to catch up.
Wait a minute. Top flight defense.
Number one is
There's only really two defenses in that defense.
But that's what I'm saying. They're up and coming. They're up and coming. Because on paper, Jacksonville's defense looks pretty good. But
you up and coming out of Jacksonville.
Look.
He playing Tecmo Bowl.
On paper, Taco Bell looks like a great restaurant.
Living my best life.
Hey, don't sleep on that crunch wrap, man. Don't sleep on that crunch wrap.
Give me 2 months. We'll see.
But this is what I'm saying. I get it. You said Baltimore, that's what we've been doing. Baltimore has been throwing to the tight end predominantly and running the ball. That's what we do. We throw to the tight end, we run the ball, and we rely on the defense. This year, hopefully Bateman doesn't let me down, and Bateman can kind of give us some semblance of a wide receiver. I won't hold my breath.
Why are we talking about the Ravens again?
We'll leave it at that.
We'll talk about that later.
So I just use them as an example to show that.
And you're right.
Who's winning consistently without a number one receiver?
Right.
Baltimore is winning consistently without a number one receiver. That's all.
Right. And a lot of these questions will be answered in the week of September 8th, September 11th. So, right now is all speculation. We're not going to know until they put the pads on and going for real, because, everybody know the preseason ain't for real. So we going to know the for real answers on November 11th or November 8th, depending on what day your team play.
September.
But for then, Big Rob, you got something for me?
Random. Let's go random with it. So, random facts, sports facts. There's only one player that has ever averaged 50 points a game and did not win an MVP in the NBA. Anybody have a clue who that one player was and who they lost it to?
50 points and didn't win an MVP.
Will Chamberlain?
That was me on 2K.
Will Chamberlain, and who'd he lose it to? Who'd he lose the MVP to?
Bill Russell.
Bill Baylor.
Bingo. Bill Russell was the one he lost the MVP to. There's one player in the NBA that has only hit one 3-pointer in their entire
Ben
NBA
Simmons
career.
Diesel.
No,
Diesel.
he's not hit any.
Kareem?
Nope.
Shaq Diesel.
Somebody just said it. It's Shaq.
Shaq.
Shaq is the only player to never hit but only one
Shaq.
3-pointer in his entire NBA career. And then there's only one major city that has ever won 3 major sports championships in the same year.
Boston.
Boston.
Nope.
I think it was Pittsburgh.
Detroit. No, not Detroit.
He just said it. It's Detroit. In 1935, Detroit Lions won the NFL title.
Hold on.
Tigers won the World Series.
Did you say
It don't count if black people wasn't playing.
Did you say 1935, sir?
1935.
Can we get some footage? Can we get some footage on that?
Yeah.
Black and white footage that's sped up.
I'm just providing. I'm just providing the random fact.
All right, so something we didn't mention in the beginning
I was about to mention.
you made me think
go ahead
about.
and do it. You go
When you
ahead.
said Bill Russell.
You a Celtics fan?
The NBA is retiring the number 6 league-wide first time ever.
Respectively.
I was just about to say it. I'm glad you brought it up. I left it for you, sir. But as always, we thank y'all for joining our show tonight. We thank y'all for y'all participation. We enjoy doing this for y'all. So keep coming out, share, like, post, do everything on there. We on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you, Lil Rob. Thank you,
Jacksonville Whack.
Appreciate y'all having me, fellas.
T-Hop. We enjoyed you guys.
Thank
Y'all welcome to come on the show anytime.
Indy Whack.
We enjoyed you.
Whack.
Next week we will be talking about
Jack
the NFC
Extra Whack.
North. So if you or anybody you know is a fan of the NFC North and you want to be on the show, hit us up and we'll make sure you get on there. But until then, and also don't forget who have the plug, Rob?
Also make sure you go out ABK6 if you're gonna go out and get cognac. That's the way to go.
That wasn't the plug I was talking about.
Okay,
well, he was talking about the mental health, but that works too.
T-Hop.
Put both of those together.
T-Hop.
Yeah. What's that?
T-Hop.
T-Hop, go ahead and plug your podcast, bro.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, my podcast is called I'm Just Saying Dad. And what it is it's a mental health space for, the underserved community, which, in particular is Black males. So many of us, grow up in so many different environments, have so many different backgrounds. It's not necessarily a bash session where we come on and, talk about, our fathers or the lack thereof, but we really just kind of, look at it more of a therapeutic thing. We have people come on, kind of tell their stories and how it's affected them and how they've become, better for it. And it's available. First 2 episodes are on Spotify. First 3 episodes on YouTube. And, if we're Facebook friends, it's available on Facebook.
What's your Facebook name? Go ahead and put that out there.
Should just be Timothy Hopkins, man. T-Hop. I don't know.
we will go ahead and put the link in the in the comments there and get everything situated. If y'all want to check them out, go ahead and check them out. Again, this has been the All Sports Matter podcast. For my co-host and our guests, I am JB. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. Before I forget, baseball talk every Thursday at 7:00 Central, 8:00 Eastern. Make sure y'all tune in. My guy Amir Poppy Shiraz Ortiz be giving y'all all the facts on baseball, and we out.
Hold up, before we jump, Jim, real quick, just saw this. Elijah Mitchell is out, hamstring injury.
Where was you at? Where was you at 20 minutes ago when we talked about that?
Literally just.
I missed that. I totally missed it, but did we talk about that?
Well, yeah. I had said something when we was talking about everybody being hurt. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh,
keep talking. It's all good.
He was focused on his Ravens doing the wishbone.
No, that's the Titans. We coming out of the wishbone, baby. We coming out of that bone.
He got lost at Taco Bell.
Think about the Ravens and Taco Bell. That's all it was. Y'all have a good night, and we out.
You too, fellas.